No, I'm in Italy. I'm actually right now I'm in Milan, in the north of Italy,
Ah, okay.
and I live, but actually I live just a few in a town a few kilometers from Milan, that is called Monza. It's uh, famous because it hosts the Grand Prix, the Formula One race.
Right.
So it's just a small town, a few kilometers far from Milan.
Oh, lovely. Well, I'd love to visit. That's on my bucket list is Italy. I've never been there before, so I hope to get
Oh,
there sometime
it's a
soon.
lovely place. It's a lovely place.
I heard it's absolutely gorgeous, so I can't. I'm in Denver, Colorado,
Ah, okay.
if you
I've
know where
never
that
been.
is.
Actually, I've been in the United States one time, but in Seattle for a
Uh-huh.
conference. For I think it was the SMX conference
Sure.
organized by. Okay, I think you know it. And it was very beautiful experience for me coming from Europe because I visited, I think, most of Europe, but I've been just that time in the United States. It's strange for us because we always see the United States from the TV series, from movies, and then it's so strange to see that actually the reality is the same that we see in the movies. It's strange.
Right.
I know it sounds naive, but it's quite strange.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's probably very odd to come to, it's like me going to Italy. You're like, right, does it meet my picture, or is it completely different, or what are the people
Yeah,
like, or
yeah,
so I really
exactly.
appreciate you taking some time to talk about your Ubersuggest.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about how did this tool come about, and why did you create this tool?
Yeah, it actually I created it just to make a proof of concept because I was some years ago when the autocomplete features, the suggest features of Google was launched. Um, I was talking with one of my colleagues in a previous agency where I worked in that time, and we were just talking about how we could scrape that results from the autocomplete, from the Google autocomplete, because we what we understood is that that could be a good source of keywords because we Google suggests react so fast when there is an emerging query, and also it gives you many ideas. It's so simple and also a great source of keywords idea. So we were just talking about that, and I think in a weekend, I hacked a couple of line of code in order to see if I could scrape the results from Google Suggest,
I
and
see.
then I understood that that kind of scraping could grow in a really useful source of keyword, just making a variation of the keyword and asking again to Google Suggest what were the suggestion for that query. So and that's it. It's I think that the success of Ubersuggest stay in the fact that it's really simple. It's a really simple idea, but still, web marketer need tools and services that can help, especially the keyword research phase. And
Sure.
so the market is still demanding this kind of solution. So when and so the success of Ubersuggest for me was totally unexpected because I thought that that kind of simple tool cannot be so successful. So as you can see, the interface is really, really, really simple. It's also not so polished. Actually, I'm working, and I will release in a few weeks a new version of the tool with a better interface.
Oh, great.
Oh, now I see you. Okay, hi. Even if it's so simple, that the success was completely unexpected. And the funny things in doing this tour is that I met a lot of people in conferences and around the world that were so happy and were so grateful for doing this stuff. So it was a great experience.
Sure. So tell me a little bit about how the tool works. Now, I've shown this to my audiences. So I am a professional speaker. I run a university here in Denver called Findability University. So it's all about training business owners on how to be more findable online. And I show them your tool, and it's very simply elegant. And I like that about it because it has such a simple, greater purpose in how it gives keywords and keyword suggestions. So I just put a speaker, because I'm a professional speaker, so I put speaker in the tool. And tell me what I'm looking at here when I scroll down. So we have 280 suggestions found. How are these being generated?
Okay, what the tool does is, let's say, going to, is like the tool is going to Google, typing the query you have made, and adding just one letter after a space and one letter after the word. When you did this, if you go in on Google, you can see actually what I don't know. Maybe we can share. Okay,
do you want me to give you a screen?
Okay, go on. Let's go on Google. If you can do it for me, I can guide you. It's easier to show you. Okay, for example, write a speaker on the box. Okay, and that's the usual suggestion. Then space. Then just type a space after speaker, and then, for example, write a letter, just a single letter A. As you can see, okay. As you can see, there are different suggestions that are just generated from this variation of your keyword. Okay. What the tool does is exactly this thing, adding digits, letters after your query.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It just what it does is just expanding your query, starting from the seed you put in, and make it grow with different kind of suggestions.
Got it.
Actually, I have to say that Will Reynolds, that is the owner of Seer Interactive, and I think you know it. It's a digital agency that work on search and SEO stuff. He made he often speaks about the power of this kind of simple keyword research. And I think it's especially useful for small business owner or for people that are not so expert in digital advertising or digital marketing, because it's like I said, it's simple and it's something everybody can do. Looking at the suggestions from Google, it's the easiest keyword tool you can have, this one. And Ubersuggest is just something that is built upon this, on top of this kind of searches. This kind of a way of doing keyword research. Okay.
So tell me a little bit about the suggest function. What is Google telling us there, and why is it giving us those specific recommendations? Because obviously, if I type in organic, there's hundreds of different organic possibilities.
Yeah. What Google does is analyzing is based on all the search is made or the query is made by different people in your country, on your local area,
Right.
It's just suggesting the most what is the most what is the most likely ending of your query, the next word, the query. He's predicting your query. Okay,
Right.
so when you write just organic, the first one it is the most likely query you can do if you start with organic. Okay,
Right.
and this just like that. And if you see this kind of results when there is a big event, like for example an earthquake or a sport event, like for example
So there was a shark attack in what was it, Massachusetts, I believe.
for example, yeah, that's the kind of stuff. When there is a big event, the suggest service from the autocomplete suggest service from Google react very fast,
Right.
because it's strictly tied to emerging queries that grow in a short amount of time.
Right.
When the number of queries grow in a short amount of time. So it's also easy to use this kind of suggestion for doing keyword research for example, news topics, gossip, stuff like that. So if you have a blog or a news site or something that if you write stuff that is strictly related to news, to what is happening right now,
Right.
the suggest could be a great source of keywords idea, of topics ideas. Okay.
So like like motivational speaker, motivational press. Now I get a remove function.
Yeah, the remove function is there because you are logged in with your Google account. Okay.
Right.
When you are not logged in, you can't remove. This is a feature. It is there just to allow you to remove suggestions that are not that you think are not relevant to the query you are typing, but it's not is something that has to do with personalized search. So if you remove that results, the result that comes after are different just for you, not for the other people that are searching.
So
okay?
These suggestions are current, so they're happening the most relevant as well as the most searched. Is that correct?
Yeah, they are the most searched, but I'm thinking thinking about the best way of saying it, because it's really important to explain that the kind of suggestion are not necessarily the more searched words.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes the keywords that are suggested, if you take the keyword that are suggested by the service and put them, for example, in the keyword planner, that gives you, the search volumes.
Right.
You can see that the search volume of some of the keyword Google suggests are 0 or even less than 0.
Right.
And that's because the suggest service have a different purpose. What it suggests is the query that is more likely that is more similar to what you are searching for. Is something that aim to predict what you are searching. Okay, right. So it's especially useful when you, for example, when you want long tail queries. Okay. And that's another reason, because it's quite useful for local business and small business, because, as you know, local long-tail queries, long-tail keywords are a little bit less competitive, and so it's easier, but convert better. So I think that Ubersuggest is great if you want to search and select a lot of long-tail keywords. They couldn't have a big search volume, but they convert. Usually they convert better. Another thing I would like to mention about how Ubersuggest is useful to different people. For example, if you manage an AdWords campaign, so a paid search campaign, many people find Ubersuggest useful in order to identify negative keywords. So keywords you put in your campaign as negative, as something you don't want your ads show up. Okay. And that's very important step in order to optimize your campaign, because it's a way to spend your money in the right direction only when you want only when you're making your ads more targeted to the right people. Okay.
So I'm looking at here. I got I put in marketing speaker. So this is actually what I'm seeing here. This is what is kind of an expanded drop down from the Google Suggest we were looking at before.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. For example, the first one is just the suggestion for marketing speaker alone, that exact query. The second one is marketing speaker plus a space. And the third one is marketing speaker plus A. As you can see, some expansion, some letters deliver more suggestion than the others. Okay, but that is because not all the variation of marketing speaker makes sense. Not all the variation are a keyword.
Hey, maybe you can bring me to Italy right here. Italian speaker marketing job.
For example.
Because I don't speak Italian, so I can't help you with that.
Okay. Another thing is that all the keywords you are seeing are real keywords. Okay, they are not made-up words. Okay. And I think that this is really important. It is something peculiar about this tool. They are not made up words. There exists some tools. Some tools exist that merge the words you put in order to generate variation. But you are never sure that the variation you are building are real keywords, real queries, real user queries.
Right.
These keywords are real user queries. Sometimes they are made just maybe a few times, but they are queried just a few times. They are used just a few times, but they are real user queries.
Right.
And I think that's one of the best thing about Ubersuggest and in general the Suggest service from Google.
Now, would you recommend you take these keywords and then check the search volume in the keyword planner?
Yeah, and the keyword planner. Yeah, the usual workflow is you start with a seed keyword, for example, poker or public speaking or marketing or how to. Right. So let's try with how to, if you like.
Just how to by itself?
Just how to. For example, let's pretend you have a blog and you want to satisfy some user needs for information, and that's something people are searching for. How to tie a tie, for example. Okay.
How to cook a wolf.
Another interesting query. See, the keyword is, for example, how to cook something.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If you try with how to cook, you can have suggestions, for example, how to cook chicken, how to cook raw meat, and so on. Okay.
Right.
Let's get back to the usual workflow. Usual workflow is we start with a seed keyword, we clicking on one of the keywords, you can further expand the keyword itself. So maybe you can have other suggestions. Then you select the keyword you want, or just one keyword, just a couple of keywords, and then you cut and paste the keyword and put it on the keyword planner in order to check the search volume. This is a very typical workflow. Other people use the tool in different way just to have content ideas. Just they don't care about the search volume, because because if, like I said before, if the keyword is every keyword is a real query. Okay, so it's a user, it's something the users want. So it could be used also as a brainstorming tool.
Sure.
For example, if you want to just come up with some ideas for a content marketing initiative or for stuff like that, it could
this
be
is a great one too. So for me, I talk a lot about keywords. So here we have keyword planner, keyword generator, keyword meta tag, keywords in resume. Yeah, really interesting. So this is sort of aggregating all of the Google suggests and then giving you sort of a list of all the different possibilities.
Yes, that's it. It's a way to, let's call it a way to mine the Google Suggest service in order to get keyword ideas.
Well, I think it's a really simply elegant tool, and I've used it for a long time, and I show it in all of my presentations, and I'm just thrilled that we were able to talk about it. Is there any future plans you had? You said you're going to get ready to launch a new interface for Ubersuggest?
Like I said, I'm not so happy with the current interface, because it's it's not so polished, and I also would like to see if I could create a more also more sustainable business with this kind of tool. Now I'm making money. I'm making some money with advertising, but I would like to build something more reliable, and also something more useful for people, and also making money from it, obviously.
Well, maybe I could even subscribe to it, and you could watch a handful of keywords and then send me changes and suggestions.
Yeah, that's something I would like to implement, because, like I said before, many people use this kind of tool to follow the news. So, for example, in the past, I played with the idea of building an RSS feed of suggestions, so you can subscribe to the RSS feed, for example, of I don't know, the name of a celebrity, like Paris Hilton, so you can have you can track the different suggestions. It's also looking at the Google Suggest is also useful. For example, if you working on brand reputation or people reputation online, because sometimes you could have unpleasant surprises when you see what Google suggests for example, for a person name, for a famous person name. Okay.
Right.
Now we are searching Google on Ubersuggest. Maybe this will break the internet.
Yeah, the different ways that people search for Google. That's kind of interesting as well. Well,
I'm going to launch a new version of the tool, hopefully in some weeks. It will be, it will be, now it's a private beta, but I'm gathering some suggestion and feedback from a few people. And so as soon as I gather the amount of feedback I'm looking for, I'm going to release it to the public, and it will have a nice landing page, and you will create an account, and so
Wonderful.
I think it will be also more useful for everyone.
Well, make sure to let me know so I can let all my subscribers
Sure.
know about your new tool. And thank you
Sure.
so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I hope I get to Milan someday
You're
to
welcome.
thank you in person, buy you a cup of coffee or espresso,
Sure,
whatever is your preference.
Yes, I will be happy to meet you in person.
Well, thank you again for your
Okay.
time today. Make sure to let us
You're
know
welcome.
when the new release comes, and we'll
Sure.
check it out.
I'll shoot you an email when it's ready. Okay?
That'd be great. Thank you so much for talking about your great tool. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care, Alessandro. Bye-bye.
Heather is the